According to the National Institutes of Health, last year alone, more than 40,000 people battled pancreatic cancer. Thousands, unfortunately, lost that battle. Some local volunteers, though, are hoping to change that with more awareness and education. Joining me now from the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network is cancer survivor Richard Orr. Richard, you guys were up on the Hill this week lobbying. Can you tell me what you were lobbying for?
We actually had a little over 500 folks that came in this year from all 50 states, and we were asking our Congress folks, either the senators, of course, and the congressmen, to do a couple of things for us. Number one is there's two bills that are up, one, of course, for the House and one for the Senate, that is asking that the National Cancer Institute develop a strategy to dealing with pancreatic cancer. Right now, there's really no strategy whatsoever. There is for other forms of cancer, but there is nothing for pancreatic cancer. So we asked them to co-sponsor the bill, number one, and then number two, to not cut funding to the National Cancer Institute, but to keep the funding levels where they are.
So what are some of the statistics about funding and maybe survival rates or success rates for folks like you?
It's a direct correlation. The more funding, the higher the survival rate. Right now, pancreatic cancer for the last 40 years, as they've been keeping statistics, is still in the single digits. Pancreatic cancer gets less funds than any other of the cancers to the National Cancer Institute as far as the main ones go. Pancreatic cancers remain at a 6% survival rate, while the others have increased, whether it's breast cancer, colon cancer, prostate. Those have all had a higher survival rate. They've seen increases over the years.
So can you tell me a little bit about where you are currently at this time in your fight? I understand you were diagnosed, what, in 2008?
2008, correct. July of 2008, something was going on. I used to be a halfway decent athlete, and so I tried to keep up with blood pressures and that kind of thing, and something just didn't feel right. And I actually had a physician's assistant send me for a couple of tests. One was a sonogram of my heart, and the other was an x-ray. The sonogram of the heart was great. The x-ray, no masses, no tumors, but a radiologist said, "Ooh, that pancreas looks enlarged. Let's find out why." And so they did biopsy, and they found out that I had some atypical tumors in the tail of my pancreas. Okay. And so in September, I had my first surgery, which was the removal of the tail of the pancreas and my spleen. 18 months later, I got the call nobody wants. The surgeon called you, gave me his own personal cell number, and he told me that mine had metastasized to the liver. And so in 2010, I actually had what they call a portal vein embolization, where they block off the blood vessels going into the liver. So the right side of the liver died. The left side would be working hard and get bigger. It helps out your recovery rate. Sure. And so about 8 weeks after the embolization, they did remove half of my liver and my gallbladder at the same time.
So it's still very much a fight for you.
Oh yeah, well actually just before the year was out, they discovered I got 2 more tumors that are in the left lobe. So they did a chemoembolization to that, actually went through the femoral artery, and I call it smart bombing. So instead of just sticking a vein in your arm and killing everything, they actually went right into the tumors themselves. One of them, died, and fortunately, no one of its cousins or friends showed up. So.
And you were telling me, think what they could do with more money.
Oh, absolutely,
the sort
absolutely.
of advances that they could make.
Absolutely,
sure. Okay.
Absolutely.
Richard Orr, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.